and I hope so. Now it would be like a difficult task for me to keep all of you together, in the sense that all of you should be awake and not heavy lunch, I hope so. And let's see how well we can go. Okay, now there were a few things which I was not able to complete it in my prior part. So here I go, and I'm sharing a few more things so that you are able to understand them from the observations part. Now this would be like 10 minutes or somewhere like that, and then we can move ahead with the lecture where I have left it. Now here I go. So kindly focus on this, all of you, side by side, so that we are unable to understand where I have left it. Now here you see I gave you that yes, the information, there are pure observations where it is no language, and in this particular I should say the screen that you're seeing, there are around 22 observations. I mean, randomly I'm choosing, and I've just taken care of it. Now when we say pure observations, it is through the sensory organs, and these are the subjects that we have seen with the help of the various sense organs that we are able to take care. And these concepts or the schemas that I'm talking about, this is due to the expert who is present and the subject for that particular subject, and they are the ones who are helping us to understand and get acquainted to this kind of a thing. Now apart from that, 1 minute please. There is this one also that I wanted to show side by side. I think I'll have to share not this. Okay. Now, this is one more thing that I wanted to tell you, that yes, which I said that there has to be a connectivity, which I forgot to showcase this particular slide of mine. Now, we have seen that there are different observations, which I call it as levels of observation. This allows us to move towards the theory building. That means that observations with the help of certain definitions, concepts, schemas, we go ahead and arrive at and develop, or we build upon what we call it as theory building. For example, this is something that I randomly chose, and like everybody knows, I'm sorry about my diagram. This is a cat, we all know. Now, various observations can be like what? The communication through muse, attitude, behavior, how it presents itself to us. So, various things we are able to understand through the observation. Now, these observations, when I add together, I mean, one after the other, they are combined together, and we get another schema, which we call it as CAT. I was talking about the patterns, remember? Now, imagine that whenever I see this kind of a thing, a time comes, and through this particular combination, I'm able to understand that yes, there is a schema which is being formed, and I'm labeled it as a cat kind of a thing. Now, I hope I'm audible to all. Pooja ma'am, am I audible?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, now there are certain individuals, the participants, who are saying that they are unable to hear. So kindly ask them to log off and log in again. So maybe.
No, you are audible, madam.
Yeah, thank you. Thanks a lot. So this is another slide which I forgot, and we can understand the different steps between theory building, theory development, and theory testing. And then comes what we call it as the theory model. Now, when I'm building up, remember that this takes place with the observations that are coming up, and they are piled up together so that we are able to recognize those patterns or the trends which are there. We develop it, and then I am able to arrive at what I call it as the theoretical model. I test my model. Now, in order to be successful for it, I might take the help of the experts and the various tests that we have got, we are able to do, and then I proceed further with my conceptual models also. And we will see in my discussion. Let me complete it. Now, this is the example that I was sharing it. For example, here you have got a leader and there are various characteristic features. Then here I'm seeing that there are certain demographics. Now this arrow somehow has come here. This has to come here between leader and employee. Demographics are present for me. These turn out to be my demographic variables. Now these demographic variables help me, and through the observations, now you see, that's how I'm building my theory, and that's why I have written out here theory building and observations. So you are able to build your theory in this way, and then you come up with the theory development. Then you are able to test out whether the one that you are checking out, like for example, I have said that to see that the toxic leadership is responsible for some kind of a behavioral change in me, and I'm able to see the imbalances in the organization or the imbalances in the family life. If I'm able to understand and take care of these things, I am able to present with the next step, that is theoretical model, and I'm going to test this particular model with the help of the conceptual models also, and we will see how to develop even those things. Now later on I'll explain to you why empirical studies, empirical investigations all are present in our theory development and theoretical model testing. And later on, once you are coming to the qualitative research, we move to different levels of observations. Okay, and in qualitative, whether you are going to focus on phenomenology or ethnography or grounded theory or focus groups, the kind of observations and the way you move towards the interviews also, there are various ways in which you can understand and you are able to present and proceed further. Once you complete it, with the help of our softwares like NVivo, Atlas TI, and other like MaxQDA. Now, there are certain other qualitative softwares which I really like it, and I can proceed further to the quantitative. I don't have to even use mixed methods. Now, sometimes, yes, that is again comes with the professional training or understanding that yes, you can use, let's say, an ethnographic interview or the results and proceed further with the quantitative. However, with the help of the Atlas TI, I know that I have got a technique wherein I'm able to arrive at the correlational value. So, there is no need for me to perform again crosstabs or let's say ANOVA to reach to correlation. I can directly jump from those things. I can directly jump towards the regression and proceed further with the model testing via SEM. And either you are working on formative or reflective, that's a different question. However, you are able to do it. So, I can miss out. So these are certain things, again, you will see once I am taking care of the qualitative research with all of you, maybe in a short module or as a different approach. In fact, I'm going to start off with another workshop exclusively for BHU, that is Banaras Hindu University, on qualitative research. If some of you are interested, again, that is going to be a 5-day workshop wherein I am talking about qualitative research into depth rather than the superficial way. So you are able to get connected to both observations. Now you can see the timeline now. Majority of us are not given. So how do I proceed? Research questions I have got, and we will learn how to take care of it. From research questions, I'm proceeding further to other things, and I take care of the theory models, theoretical models, then conceptual models. From this, I jump into qualitative or quantitative or combination of both of these things, and then you go ahead with what I call it as the analytical step, and then go ahead with the output and the further part. Now, this is the way in which the entire timeline of the research should go about. Now I have given you, you want to follow step by step, go ahead. If you want to skip, you can even do that. And this is where the amazing, I should say, the help we get from the various softwares, you know, which combine both qualitative and quantitative. And as days are going about, they, some of them are absolutely free again, and you can see, and thank God that we are able to move in those directions. So this is again something which I wanted to share. And before I can proceed further, this is also another way in which one can understand. I'll be sharing all these photographs also, the images which I have got with Pooja ma'am, and they would be sharing it with all the participants so that you are able to understand as to how to proceed further. Now here you can see, when I say these is the I mean, again, I have got an observation out here, and these are the characteristic features. Now, on individuality or this one. Now, there is one more slide which helps us to go ahead, and the patterns which you are recognizing at the level of the theoretical modeling itself allows you to generalize it, and you are able to go ahead, give your theoretical contribution, which you can see it in books and papers in the form of chapters and everything, and further you are able to proceed further. So this is something which I wanted to showcase. Now there is one more thing that I really wanted to find out. Just give me a moment, please. How can I miss that slide? Okay, here we go. Now, this is again something that I really wanted to share. Now, you see, when I talked about observations, I was continuously introducing different kinds of observations. Now, this is where the slide explains to you as to what are the different kind of observations you have got. Okay. Now, for example, here I call a subject who is making an observation. So let's say Ramani. So here Ramani, and who is making an observation, will be called as subject. Try to understand these technical words also side by side, so that tomorrow when you are developing, at least from your side, you are absolutely clear. So we have got here a subject, and the something that I'm going to observe in the world, in the immediate world, this is what I would say is called as an object. So you should understand subject is the individual. In my case, this is Ramani, and whatever I'm observing, it can be a book, it can be an animal, it can be a film, it can be, let's say, a plant, or whatever you are planning to take care of it. That is called as an object. So you will see that when before you can start off with the philosophical assumption, which immediately I'll be doing it after this slide, you should understand that what kind of approach you are taking. Is it from subject to object, number one, or is it coming from object to subject? Try to understand. I have already started introducing the arrows also, and you should now be able to see the repercussions of these things which you would be using after regression, especially when you are testing your model or different kind of models. Okay, now here one position would be subject to object observation. Second is from object to subject. So here these arrows are the effects also, number one. Then the third position is that it is not just one way, however, it is both the ways. So that's why I have got the arrows, two arrows out here. Remember that these three important steps are there. Again, I'm repeating it. Subject to object, number one. It can be object to subject, number two. Number three, now you can ask me, Ramni ma'am, can you give us some examples? For example, I am traveling, let's say from Delhi to Kurukshetra. Okay, I'm traveling from here. Now I'm traveling for the first time. I've never traveled. Okay, so I'm too enthusiastic to see the things. Now, for example, you're traveling, let's say by train. Or by aeroplane, or let's say by bus. Now, when you are traveling, or by car, you know, you want that window seat. Have you ever wondered why you want that window seat? Reason, you are observing quite a lot of things. What is the kind of highway we have got? Is this highway far better than what I can see in Delhi NCR routes? If you are traveling a lot, the moment you travel, is it comfortable with my GPS, or do I have to use something else? Now, which particular app is helping me to get the appropriate direction? Now, is somebody able to help me out? Now, there are a lot of things that you can do. So this would be like subject to object. Now, object to subject will be like, for example, I don't know how many of you really have observed this thing. The moment you step into Domino's, a smell comes to you and you are attracted to that smell. And I'm sure each one of you must be visiting either Domino's or Pizza Hut or McD or even Burger King. Now, once you enter into it, the smell which attracts you, it is not you who is attracted towards that smell. It is the smell that is attracting you. Okay, now for example, one more case I can give it to you is the person who smokes. If that person is standing in front of you, your nostril starts working and you simply start sniffing in front of you. Then that is from subject to object, because you're identifying who is the person who is smoking and who has smoked and is standing in front of you or sitting next to you or is visible in that particular room. In the same manner, come to the second case, when you step into Domino's or into McD, the moment you step in, or even in a temple. Now, I don't know how many of you are fond of temples. The moment you enter, the kind of camphor smell or the smell from the sandalwood, or if you visit to Tirupati, the way the laddu smell comes in, or the manner when you enter into a langar, or any place you go, there's a specific smell which comes in and you are attracted towards it. Now, that is the example of object to subject. Now, when it is object and subject, a kind of an interaction. Now, you will see this thing taking place in cinema halls, or when you are, in open area. It is both. Especially, I don't know how many of you are very fond of traveling again. When I visited for the first time to the Antarctica region, because with my father, there, it was not just me who was getting or observing. It was both the ways. For example, when you visit to Antarctica and it is fully covered with snow, the colors that my eyes is accustomed to, especially especially let's say in India, is very different. And if you go over there, you get a different kind of color exposure, altogether, and your eyes takes at least a minute or two. That's why I said, the moment you enter into cinema hall, if it is a dark one, okay, and your eyes takes at least a minute or two to get adjusted to that particular environment. So that is the example of object and subject. I hope this makes it clear. And when you are at the first level, that is subject to object, either you are into the qualitative research. Now, not all kind of qualitative research, remember this very carefully. And whenever you are attending any workshop, be very careful with these clarifications also. Nobody will tell you these kind of differences in qualitative research. However, while you are preparing your interviews or the questionnaire for taking the interviews, there are various ways in which these things are necessary. Similarly, when you are doing surveys, now when I read questionnaires and surveys, I really get irritated. Initially, I used to do it and I used to ask the scholars, but now I literally stopped. Reason, nobody is interested to make it sure whether you are making the observations and then these statements have been created, or is it that the statements have been created after the observations from the outside world and then you're taking care of it. Nobody writes it. So this is where the biggest missing link is for me when I am checking out with the surveys or the questionnaires, either in qualitative research or the quantitative research, including even in the papers. They do not mention. However, if you read the papers, which I can share it with all of you, and you will see that these differences are given to us very clearly and you need to understand them. Then sometimes once you have taken care, even in the conclusion, when you are generalizing it, when you come towards the conclusion, again, many of the scholars, which I have seen the PhD theses and the dissertations, and I really dedicated myself for 8 months, I think, and picked up the copies of the theses, and I was literally reading them for nearly 8 months, I should say. And once I checked it out, I thought, oh God, nobody is taking care of these things. However, when you are mentioning, you should take care about these and say that, yes, see, this is what has helped me. How the generalization, even if you do the deductive approach, you can take care, or the inferential approach. Now, once I'll start off with the theoretical and the conceptual, I'll be coming towards those differences also. You are supposed to make it one statement or one sentence. You should write it down that, yes, this is what has helped me to generalize or universalize in order to come up with this kind of a conclusion. Similarly, with the opinions, feedbacks, and reflections, which we will take care of it later on. Now, as I said, I have to share one more thing, and let's see if this helps me. Kind of a thing. Just give me a moment. No, this will not. Now, coming to the philosophical assumptions. Now, there are certain things which are necessary for us to understand. What are those philosophical things, assumptions that we have got, and how to carry forward? Just give me a moment. Yes. Now, can you see a new word page out here? Pooja ma'am, isko share karna padega, or are you able to see the next screen? Can one of the participants speak, please?
No, madam, not seen.
You're not seeing it. Okay, thank you, sir. Just a moment, please. Yeah, are you able to see now?
Yeah.
Yes, ma'am, it is visible.
Yeah, thank you. Thanks a lot, all of you. Now, here we go. And this is the one that I was talking about. Now, this is the paper written by Lincoln and Guba, that is in 2000, Mertens in 1998, Models or Patterns of Research. Now, this is totally from the what I call it as observations. You should read. I have downloaded it, and this paper I would be sharing it with all of you. The second one is what I said, the philosophical assumptions. There is another sheet which I'll be showcasing to you right now. This is on theoretical frameworks. What kind of frameworks you have got to collect, analyze, interpret the information, and this is by Crotty in 1998. This is a beautiful paper again, and one should read. Now, in case you are planning to adopt what I call it as epistemologies, though I haven't yet given you the introduction to it, the theories of knowledge, the epistemic studies. Again, the individuals who write either the empirical papers or the other papers, if they are trying to proceed further and give us what I call it as an epistemic study, where you are trying to know something, why is it in the title these things are missing? So, if you are doing a knowledge acquiring kind of a paper or a thesis or a presentation, please go ahead and start using the word epistemologies. Like, it can be epistemic, it can be epistemological studies, choice is yours. Please add, and this would be useful later on when you're charting out your own objectives also, which I'll share it when I'll come over to the objectives part. Again, this is given to us by Crotty, 1998. Ontologies is definitely, yes, there are two differences, what I call it as the metaphysical studies and ontological studies, especially, when you're talking about the reality. Now, there are lots and lots of papers, again, I have seen, however, they do not mention whether it is an ontological paper or a metaphysical paper, and they cannot proceed further clearly. Now, I hope with these things, I'll be showcasing the next one also, wherein you will be able to understand it. Now, research methodologies, definitely, yes. Once I complete with the reviews, wherein I would be going ahead and focusing more on the systematic literature reviews. Now, remember, all of you here, there is a lot of difference between systematic literature review, one hand, literature review, number two, and review of literature. You need to be very careful when you are using these words very clearly. Next weekend, on Sunday, when we are there, we would be focusing on these differences also side by side, and I'm sure that would really help you to proceed further, at least taking a step towards the publications, at least at the level of the scholars, so that they are happy and it's very easily they are able to proceed further with the publications, because they are learning and they are able to and I'm sure one of my student, I should say, she, the moment she learned, the next day she said, ma'am, thanks a lot, and I'm writing a systematic review literature. And you will see that it's the most easiest way to write a review, and I'll showcase to you there are at least 24 different ways in which you can write, though there are 42, I'm restricting myself to 24 so that it becomes easier for you to write them and get them published, whether it is an Indian or a foreign publication, choice is yours. However, you are able to get that opportunity to take care of it. So this is something that I really wanted to share. And there is one more okay, here we go, and I'm sharing that one also. Just give me a moment. These are the publications, and I'll be giving it away to the organizers so that they can come up and share it with all of you also. Just give me a moment. Okay, I'll share each one of them, which is there, and you would be able to carry forward all by yourself. Just give me a moment. However, I'll have to keep on changing the sharing screen in WebEx. This is the one problem that we have got, that I have to keep on changing, but that's okay. Let's see if this is the one. Okay, now can you see? Oh, I've reached a different paper. Yeah, this is the one I was talking about. This is a paper published by Robert Emmons. This is in 1970 to 71, the Journal of Reading Behavior. He mentions a schema for the classification of conceptual frameworks involving reading. Now, this is his area, therefore he is involved. However, I want you, all of you, to read this particular paper also, so that you understand what exactly is schema and how to use it in your own observations and how to proceed further. However, as I said, had it been a qualitative research workshop, I definitely take that pains to make you understand from observations how to prepare the schema. And a chapter from a book which I said I'll be sharing it, that is through Kant, because he is the one who differentiates between schema, schemata, phenomenon, noumena, and you can proceed further and see the direction in which he is taking place. The next one that I wanted to showcase to you, I hope again, do I have to share it? Okay, now this is the one you will see. Are you able to see a new screen which has consolidated a framework for implementation?
No, ma'am.
No, just a moment, please. Just, yeah, thank you that some of you are there who are helping me. And just let me know whenever you are unable to see. I hope it's visible now. It's visible? Now, this is the one consolidated framework for implementation research. This is consolidated framework.
Yeah. Correct.
Yes. Thank you. Now here you will see, they have started giving you the vocabulary as to how to proceed further when we are talking about the construction of the frameworks. And you will see that, for example, if I am talking about intervention source, what kind of a things, like for example, perception of key stakeholders about whether the intervention is externally or internally developed. I can use the word like intervention source. Now similarly, relative advantage, stakeholders perception of the advantage of implementing. So instead of using the entire thing, you are able to use these kind of constructs, that is what relative advantage, similarly adaptability, trialability, complexity. So this particular page gives you the different kind of stuff, and you can have a look at it once I am going to give it to you, and you can understand it. Now this is another, I'm so sorry, I'll have to keep on changing the screens so that this goes, and in WebEx, this is the only problem. Okay. Now, this is another one paper which has been published, and it talks about all kind of assumptions.
Madam, actually, this thing already being viewed previously. No need.
No, I haven't yet shared it. I would be sharing it with all of you.
Then also, you go on changing, no, changing the screen. No need to change the screen. Already, when you scroll, it go on showing the things.
Okay, fine. Thank you. Thanks a lot. So this is one more area where you are able to see the different meanings of the assumptions that you take in your own research, which scholars always have this problem. Ma'am, can you tell us what kind of an assumption, or what kind of philosophical assumptions we have got? Now, these are the ones that I was talking about. The nature of reality, I'll be showcasing to you the different schools of reality, most probably in one of these parts only. The relationship of knower to known. For example, I distinguished between subject and object. Now, rather than, see, he is talking about the inquirer. The inquirer is called as the subject and the object of inquiry. So now, when you are reading these lines, you are able to understand, what kind of paradigm or what kind of assumptions you are going to take for your own research. Now, again, when the student arrives or the scholar of mine arrives to me and tells me and shows me that basic, I should say the theoretical model in front of me, places, and that is the time when I go ahead and I'm able to understand, okay, the person has chosen these as the philosophical assumptions. Based upon that, they are constructing this particular theoretical model. Or later on, after ROL, once you have completed with your gaps and you have identified the missing links and the gap, you are coming up with the conceptual model. And that is the time when I'm able to understand, and then I know. Otherwise, what usually happens is that you are not aware of your philosophical assumptions. You are not aware of the theoretical model. You're not aware of the conceptual model. You have done ROL, you have completed with the gap, you come up with the missing link, and you enter into this one. At later stages, once, even if you have completed with your quantitative analysis through the software, or the output also has been given to you, still you're not satisfied. Why? Because you have identified, I'm not getting this result, this is missing, I cannot see this. So, at that time you start manipulating. However, if you start working properly with your research at the beginning itself, trust me, towards the end of your timeline, wherein you are looking for your analytical results, they will arrive in a very proper manner. You are able to interpret it, and not only interpretation, your conclusion is not written by your guide. You yourself are writing, because this is your baby. The research thesis or dissertation or your paper is your baby. Remember that. And you are able to understand and come come up with these kind of jargon that we use it, and you try to develop it. Now later on, maybe not right now, whenever I get some time in between in one of these Sundays, I would go ahead and share with you some of the tools which are available to us, and you can go through and you can understand it. Now okay, one of you have asked me to do what if I have to share another paper. What do I have to do? Okay, again, God. Let me showcase to
It is
you.
okay, madam. Okay.
It's okay, okay. You are able to see what I...
Four type of theory and all.
Okay, now there is one more next screen that I want to share, and just let me know if you are able to see that. And that is four types of one second. You are able to see, but from mine it's disappeared. Just a moment.
Here also disappeared.
Okay, are you able to see four types of theory implications for research in social education?
Not now.
Okay, just give me a moment, please. That's what I said. I have to keep on sharing the content. Okay, here we go. Here. Now, this is are you all able to see the paper written by four types of theory implications for research in social education?
No.
Oh God. One second.
Madam, once you share means whatever you go on changing, no need to share once again. It will go on showing it. So hope so you got it. Because the moment you go on changing the screen every time, the prior screen was omitted, and you go on taking like new on a new form.
So you mean to say that let's say I have shared.
अब जितना भी पेपर दिखा रहे हैं सब हम लोग देख पा रहे हैं. When you go on changing the things, we would able to see it. Not an issue.
Okay. So fine. So four types of theory implications for research in social education, and this is by Larkins and McKinney. So remember this thing again, and you should be able to, I'll be sharing again this paper, read it. It's a very important one. Now, similarly, I have other papers also based on how to develop the theoretical part and what are the differences between scientific observation, causal observation, and how to understand to go ahead with physical trace evidences and content analysis. So there are a few things.
Madam, no screen. Kindly share it.
Kindly start sharing. Just a moment. Are you able to see now?
No.
I don't know what's happening. One second. Can you see research question, paradigmatic approach?
No.
I don't know. Is it visible now?
No, ma'am.
I don't know. Are you able to see? Okay, It's okay. Forget about it. I'll be sharing these papers so you can proceed further and you can read them once. Now, there is just one particular screen that I wanted to discuss, and from there, I will proceed further. Just give me a moment, please. Now, again, I can hear someone has started sharing a different, unmuted. Are you able to see?
No, madam.
What's wrong with it now?
I think sharing option of your laptop might be off.
No. I am able to see the screens when I'm trying to click on share. It is not taking place.
Tanya, help, ma'am. Hello.
Yeah.
Tanya, please help,
हाँ जी
ma'am.
sir, ये काम नहीं हो रहा है. That's what I was just thinking. See, I'm clicking on share content.
Ma'am, have you joined from 2 devices?
No. I
Okay.
cannot do that. Just one device only.
I think co-host आपने नहीं बनाया
And now
होगा.
I'm trying to click on the screen that is a Microsoft Edge, and you see it's not opening.
पूजा, जब आपने co-host तान्या को बनाया उस टाइम पे ये प्रॉब्लम वही लग रही है मुझे. Just talk to Tanya. Tanya.
I have Pooja ma'am as now. She can check.
Who is the host now? Pooja ma'am or Tanya?
Pooja ma'am.
Tanya.
Now she's the
Ma'am,
host.
Ma'am, rejoin the meeting.
okay, I'm logging off from here, and I'll just join up again. Just give me a moment, please.
Sure, madam.
So, in the meantime, let me just take over. How are you all feeling? Hello.
Yeah, nice session is going on.
Right, Sunday afternoon, very interesting for theory building, I think so. And I'm sure that we all combined will be able to learn some theory, and then let's go all hands-on.
Yeah, sir.
So, where are you from, sir? Who is speaking? What's your good name?
I am from Bhubanesh, Odisha.
Wow, great. What's your
I am
name?
from Institute of Business Studies, Shiksha Anusandhan University, Bhubaneswar.
Okay, great, very good. I had been to KIIT once, and then your University of Mania.
And I am a research scholar in the third year. 2 year completed in the third year, final year. I'm there as a full-time research scholar.
Excellent. So, what about the scholars from Kurukshetra University? Are they all listening very attentively?
Actually, I am in the member of that research committee where the Neeraj Kaushik sir is there. So there I got information, I had joined, and I saw that it is a good session, a very systematic session and nicely taken by madam.
Shashi Kumar ji, namaskar. Hello. Hello.
Yeah.
I was talking to one other person, Shashi Kumar ji, I think so. Shashi Kumar ji, namaskar.
Shashi Kumar ji relax mood mein hai sir.
So he is muted.
He is muted. Okay, right. Because by the time ma'am joins, I thought let me just take this small opportunity of saying hello to all of you, because one of the advantage of the workshops is that you get to know people as well. And nowadays, since it's all virtual, the virtual doesn't mean that we should not meet and talk. Is it not? So that's why, I mean, you see, in every workshop we must have good friends and develop research networks. Only then we are able to say learn something.
Sir, actually, it is that when somebody is joining in here, so at least unless otherwise is required, video must be off, so that it will be looks good, because the platform where lot of senior people are there. So it is one small suggestion from my side.
Yeah, most of them are keeping video off only, so that way it's fine. Very good. Ma'am has joined. Somebody, ma'am?
Yes, sir, I have joined. Yes, sir, I have joined. I'm just trying to share the screen.
तो तुमको दोबारा होस्ट बनाओ ना, तान्या?
So she is the presenter. Yes, she is the presenter.
Okay, you have made her presenter ना, तो ठीक है, right? तो अभी शेयर करिए, देखिए.
Yes, now you are able to see. So ये है, ये ना, the moment I log in, I got it now. Okay, now these are the assumptions that we were, I need to introduce. Number one, you can see out here very clearly that yes, there are different kinds of assumptions which are available, and this is from a paper that again I have chosen. And there is, if you are, let's say, focusing on ontological assumption, then the question arises: what is the nature of reality? Number one. Now there is another sheet which I am going to share it with you all, wherein you will be seeing that yes, when I chose the ontological as my philosophical assumption, then if I belong to management domain, what kind of question would be there? If I belong to law department, what kind of question would be present? And if I come from journalism, mass communication, or any other department of social sciences, that kind of thing is also prepared, which will be given to you all. And you can see it is a published paper and a classical paper that we usually use, especially when we are writing, and we quote them also. So these are the technical words that you are supposed to know when you talk about the philosophical assumptions. They are ontological assumptions, epistemological, axiological, then rhetorical, methodological. Then I told you there are other schools, popular schools. This is an old paper, therefore you have got these kind of a thing. However, remember, the reason why I'm sharing is it is good to know, especially MPhil students, when you are exposed to the foundation level classes. At that time, these kind of things should be absolutely made clear to you, and you should approach further and then start using them in your own writings, also in your own research. Now, for example, what is the nature of the reality? So the reality is objective, I'm sure. Now you are able to understand what is objectivity and what is subjectivity. Why I introduced those paper, that particular screenshot of my own way of teaching, is that the moment you enter into the qualitative research, again, you will see that it is not just the objective, we are even talking about the subjective. So, now you get a very clear understanding. And that's why you see in quantitative, we are focusing on objective, a singular, apart from the researcher part. Now, otherwise, in qualitative, you will see that reality is subject and is multiple as it is seen by the participants in a study. Now, usually in our, research areas, again, I see that there is no teamwork. When you are, let's say, after you complete with your MPhil or the PhD, you are entering into the publication arena, okay, or a project which is like a UGC project or ICPR project, or let's say you are trying to grab any other projects which you have got. At that time, it's a teamwork and you are assigning it. That time, multiples, and you will see this thing coming in the moment I start my discussion on systematic reviews. And in that systematic review, you will be understanding that yes, I need to form a team, and teamwork is very much necessary for us. Therefore, these classifications I'm showcasing showcasing to you right away, so that the moment I reach next Sunday and the other Sunday, the following Sunday, you are, I'm not going to focus on the fundamental, this basic vocabulary that you have got. I would appreciate all of you to understand these things and then proceed further for the further lectures that we have got the following Sundays. Epistemological, I have already given to you. The question is, what is the relationship of the researcher to that being researched? Now, instead of these words, now you can use the word, what is the relationship of the subject, because you are the researcher and the object of your study. It can be, as I told you, a phenomena, an activity, an event. Choice is yours, how you want to make it. If you are at that level, try to understand that you are performing or choosing what we call it as the epistemological scenario as your philosophical assumption. Now here, if you are at the quantitative level, researcher is independent, like as differentiated between object and the subject. Now, whereas in qualitative, researcher interacts with that being researched. Now, that's why I said it's not just that subject to object or object to subject. It is both the interaction which is taking place. So, these kind of differences, again, are missing, especially in the publications. Whenever I see somebody using the word epistemological, they do not make it specify. Again, epistemological has got a different studies altogether, and maybe later again we will focus on it. Now, similarly, we have got the axiological. This is what is the role of the values. For example, this is the thing which I see spiritual studies to be very popular one. Everybody wants to talk about spirituality without understanding the basic things. So if you are just focusing on the spiritual values, then is it value free and unbiased one? I'll be talking more about biasness and unbiased the moment we reach to reviews. How much of biasness we are capturing. For example, let's say I have different spiritual models given by, let's say, Sadhguruji by Isha Foundation, or Shivani ji from Brahma Kumaris, or you can take up any other guru like Osho from Rajneesh, then we have Swami Muktanand is there now, or you are following one of the Gurujis from the Sikhism and then you're taking care of it, or Raman Maharishi. Choice is yours, what kind of spirituality or technique that you're going to use. However, you need to mention it very clearly and then proceed further. However, let's say I have got a biasness towards, let's say, Shivani Di or towards Sadhguruji. Then in my study, am I really going to contribute something, even though I have collected the data? So we will talk more about it over that also side by side. And that's why I said I do not like to look at the questionnaire. Reason, nobody has taught us how to form the questionnaire properly without having those biasness or bias kind of a thing. So one has to understand. Now, the rhetorical, I'm not talking about it, because sometimes we do focus upon the language, especially if you are coming from the commerce and finance and economics. I see that the language which they use is absolutely different. I don't know how many of you are associated with or observe how the IFRS really works. Now, I am one of them, because they receive a lot of information in the form of the letters, which they receive from different countries, while they have to formulate, let's say, a financial decision or a commercial thing that they would like to do for the banks and everything. Now, when we are helping them at that time, we have to understand the importance of the language. And remember that every country has a different language. Like, for example, if I belong to Delhi, my English language would definitely have that, I should say, little bit of attachment or association with Delhiite English, rather than, I would say, just English. Within Delhi also, I find the differences. Like, for example, if I come from Lajpat Nagar, the way I speak my English will be very different from the areas like Greater Kailash, South Extension, Rajouri Garden, Punjabi Bagh. The moment I enter into Haryana or Punjab, the different things. The moment I enter into Himachal Pradesh, it's a very different thing. I'm a South Indian. The moment I am entering into Maharashtra, and the way they are communicating, there is a lot of differences. So if you are focusing, nobody has done this as one of the research, even from the commerce or finance department, to focus on the rhetorical, the implications of the language over the financial decisions also. And maybe some of you who are from the finance, commerce or economics department should focus on these things. Now similarly, you have got the methodological as the approach for the philosophical assumption as to what is the process of the research that we are talking about. Now here you will see that we have got, now this is through the Creswell that we have taken, and Clark RJ, this is one of the popular books on research methodologies, and that's why it has been given out here. And you can see they are talking about deductive process, cause and effect, static research. How many of us really use them? You need to be at one hand, we say that I don't know whether it was VC sir, SP Bansal sir, or somebody who was talking about the plagiarism, honesty and the manner, the transparency. It's not just the honesty that I'm looking for. We are talking about CSR. Now, CSR, why is it very popular? Because of the transparency and honesty. Are we even doing the same thing with our research writings also? Now, here, these are the ones I thought I should share it in my this particular workshop, wherein you are able to understand, if I'm using the deductive process, what is happening. If I'm taking up inferential studies, whether I'm using the inductive approach or not. Now, these kind of things really help us to know more about our research and the clarification that we get when we are going further with the research. So this is one thing that I really wanted to. Now, apart from that, let me see if there was something else that I missed out. Not this. Okay, now research question I'll be talking about later. Identifying. Okay, now there are two papers. One, let me just go ahead and share it.
We can see that. We can see the screen.
You are able to see. This is on developing research questions that make a difference. Now, you see, nobody tells you, again, I was surprised that I thought, okay, I can complete with my review of literature objectives, and majority of the time, take it with a pinch of salt, pick up randomly any of the research paper from the Google, I would say, or from any journal, and you will see that research questions are being pointed out immediately after ROL. Okay, I would say it's a big mistake that we are taking care of it. And there are reasons, and this is the particular paper which I'll be sharing it, and a couple of other, because next weekend when I'll be talking about systematic reviews, I'll be touching upon the research questions also again. So these papers would be able to help you to understand as to what is the status of developing research questions, number one. Number two, how you are talking about the research questions. Trust me, for example, like I'm focusing on film studies as of now. Now, the moment I was introduced to the research questions, I watch a movie and I get a list of research questions. Now, that list of research questions, let's say around 10, 15, I'm able to see exclusively from, okay, now all of you are aware of what is happening with the case of Sushant Singh Rajput. Why do you think, Arnab Goswami, the way he is questioning, now you see, they have just got, they're observing something and immediately you are able to see the questions. Now those are the research questions for us. Unfortunately, because they are as a TV channel or a popular journalist, he's not involving. Otherwise, one should take the initiative that yes, some of us are being, forming that particular team and doing this kind of a contribution, not just for the heroines, who are coming, even for the general public. If a public comes upon and tells you that yes, I'm facing this particular problem, how many of us are able to go ahead and help them? Now is the time when pandemic is there, and I see so many, even a time was there when startups was restricted. If you look up the studies again, the research I'm talking about, you will see that startups and entrepreneurial ventures were given only to the MBA students immediately once they pass out with their post graduation. However, now during the pandemic, I'm seeing that it is no more the age group of, let's say, from 20 to 28, the ventures that are being startup or for the entrepreneurial works I'm talking about. Now I see that even a senior citizen, I would say, respective senior citizens, rather than, I would not like to use the other word. Now they are also taking care, irrespective of their gender. I'm able to see a woman who is about 70-year-old lady. Again, if you are all present on Facebook, you are able to understand. Now, if you go ahead and talk to her, she will say that yes, my basic question was this, कि क्या मैं खाना बना के लोगों को दिखा सकती हूँ? Can I cook and I can serve the society? Now, that was the question for her. And she thought that, yes, I'm able to come up. Now, one of us can definitely go ahead. We can look into it and we are able to understand how the research questions really help us into serious research. And not only the serious research, however, you are able to come up and develop your own venture in some form or the other form and get the funding for it. So, this particular paper would be helping you to understand this thing. Now, this particular paper, the other one, chapter 2, identifying a research problem and question, searching relevant literature. This I'll be speaking more. However, why I wanted to share this particular paper, reason it talks about research problem, how research question is differentiated from a research problem. So that is how, and how to identify that. I'll be spending some time again on this, and we will see more on it also. Now, research. Now, this is one thing which I really like, this particular paper, Mark P. Tully, and research primer from that particular thing that I have taken up. And this is research articulating questions. Now, if I'm talking to a research scholar, immediately MBA they have completed, and I'm not going to take the names. They are not from here, not from the university. I know that person was referred, and immediately she called me up and she said that, ma'am, I want to register myself for the MPhil program. So can you please help me out? What kind of a question should I do? I just asked her, who is doing the research, you or me? Now, you see, the moment when I see a postgraduate, a PG student approaching for the higher studies, and if I ask them, what is the domain of your liking? They are unable to give me the answer, number one. Number two, okay, at least give me one question that is really interesting, which means that at the level of the PG, the teachers and the student, they were unable to get attracted, number one. They are not able to do that kind of an observation. Maybe after visiting an industry or reading a textbook, they should say that, yes, this particular textbook, I like it. Okay. You like marketing? Okay, because I come from the marketing and international business, so I'll be giving you examples from there. If you are into that one, so what is it that you like? Now, some of you are again finance, commerce students. Now, finance itself is such a huge thing. Now, if I ask that student, okay, tell me from the finance background, what is it that you like? Ma'am, मैंने सुना है, I like to work with the networking. Can you tell me more how to do it? I said, there must be something. If you come and tell me that, yes, I love sensory marketing, I will definitely go ahead and help you out. If you come and tell me that, yes, I'm more interested in online marketing, digital marketing, this is something, then, as a faculty, I can go ahead and help you to dig out certain questions which are really important. Then I ask them, go ahead and explore. If you want to do something, then come up. Now, for example, in finance, if you are there and if you are taking your subject very seriously, then come up and give me at least one question. So, articulating questions is very important when it comes to the research area. And it's not that, whatever it is, and then we proceed further. No, you need to understand, and then you are able to develop those questions. So I would say keep a notebook separately for your research questions exclusively. And later on, even if you are talking to me or to some other faculties who are there who can help you out with your research, you can showcase and say that, see, while I was studying, these are the questions that were there. And maybe that question really helped you out to proceed further with your own thesis work. So these are something that I really wanted to showcase it, number one. And let me see, there was one more paper that I really wanted to, yeah, I hope you are able to see this particular screen, Pooja ma'am, a different screen. Okay.
Yes,
now,
madam.
Yeah. Here, which I was telling to you, H1, H2, H3, that is house 1, house 2, house 3. If you are making the observations, they are all your observations. And number 2, I discussed about subject to object, object to subject, and subject to the two-way interaction between the object. These two scenarios on one side you have to remember. On the Western schools, which I talk about and say as schools of philosophical assumptions, you have got descriptivism. I'm using these words. These are the different schools that you have got. And don't just stop yourself and say that, okay, I'm going to do only logical positivism. In fact, I would say that even mentioning of logical is very wrong. Positivism itself has got different schools, and you are supposed to know them before you can approach. And this is where I would appreciate that some of you who are there should take the initiative and demand from MHRD that yes, we need these kind of schools to be given the exposure to the MPhil students before they can step it into the PhD or even with the MPhil dissertation, so that the foundation levels they are able to understand these terminologies also. Naturalism, positivism, then structuralism, post-structuralism, modernism, postmodernism, action theory, empirical investigation. These are also the other studies that you should know. I mean, Neeraj sir dedicated himself just to focus more on objectives. I would say before even going ahead with the objectives, you should know what kind of words you are using in your own questions, or even the titles that you are going to give for your own research areas. So these are the philosophical assumptions that you have got. And the next slide, which I'll be sharing, gives you the information on that. Then, all of us, we are aware of Indian schools also. This is like Indian schools of medicine, like Ayurveda, Vedic studies. You can go Upanishads and even Puranas. Now, I'm telling you, there's so much Mahabharata, Ramayana, and I would say even Hitopadesh, and even what is that? One more. Panchatantra. You get so many things from there, and I don't know why. Again, I see that Western countries are taking away our knowledge. So you have Vedas, Upanishads, Puranas, Ramayana, Mahabharata. Like one of you can even look the way the leadership is present in Mahabharata or in Ramayana. The kind of things, whether toxic leaders like Ravan or Shakuni Mama or these things, you should study about these things also and do the comparative studies. Side by side. I'm giving away the information. Similarly, on materialism, you have got on Charvak, Buddhism. Now, this is a very popular school, I would say. In fact, London School of Economics, King's College of London, and I'm taking the names of the universities, and I'll be sharing those papers also side by side. The Denver University, Kentucky University, Harvard University, they are all focusing on Buddhism because they respect His Holiness Dalai Lama ji, and they are writing the papers on Buddhism, looking at, like one example I can give it to you, that yes, can we introduce 4 noble truths into company? We are talking about CSR. However, nobody writes these kind of papers. However, I have around 35 papers are exclusively published, and that particular university, which I have taken away the names right now, are focusing exclusively. The moment I was introduced to these professors who were into research areas, and they said, Ramni ma'am, you yourself are coming, so why don't you go ahead? In fact, they don't call me Ramni ma'am, they call me Ramsi. So they tell me, Ramsi, can you please come up and tell us more about it, how to go about it? And let me tell you, Apple owner, that is Steve Jobs, why do you think that he gives so much importance to storytelling? If you look, he is the shareholder, the highest stakeholder for the Disney Channel as well as the Disney World. And you will see that maximum of his investment is on cartoon films or on those things. So you will see that, some of you who are again studying or taking care, you need to focus on those areas also and come up with new ventures, I would say, or your own things side by side. You can look. In fact, when I visited Kurukshetra, regularly I keep visiting, and whenever I'm visiting that place, I keep discovering new things. Now, whenever I'm at Kurukshetra, I spend a lot of time at Brahma Sarovar, and I just was sharing the importance of the murals. There are a lot of murals which are exhibited on the walls of Kurukshetra, if you go to this place that I'm talking about, and each mural, shares a story for us, which they have written. So when I was taking one of the interviews with the person who was responsible for the designing and architecture of that particular place, and successfully both the senior and the junior person individuals, they gave me the explanation, and I was sharing this thing to the Harvard University team. They said that, can you give us some more story about it? And they are now launching the cartoons along with me, I should say, just in the management department, so that those can be understood. Now, tell me one thing: why is it that they are doing it, why we are not able to do in our own country? So that is my question. And here we have got, so similarly with Buddhism belongs to my country. Now, I know it, and there are others. So why is it that different departments who are there, why we cannot write, ourselves? So similarly with Jainism, Nyay, Sankhya, so these are some of the Indian schools, and luckily, I would say some of the universities in India, I'm taking the name again, Munjil University is one. Then I have got one more university coming up. In fact, 5 universities wherein they have introduced only Indian schools, and they are focusing either on Buddhism or Jainism or Nyaya or yoga philosophy. Now, yoga also has taken up a lot of importance, and they are like China, Japan, and the South Asian countries, which are Korea, the South Korea, I'm talking about Australia. These are the universities which are focusing on these things, and they have introduced not only in the management department, however, in the other departments also, so that they are able to come up with the publications. And I'll be sharing as soon as I complete, and I don't be maybe later again, I don't know whether here or in the same forum, that is HCMA, or somewhere else, we should be able to give these kind of introductions also. Now, here I was just discussing it, I'll be sharing it, so now you have understood how to carry forward, and more will be discussed on this. Now, one more thing that I really wanted to focus on, just give me a moment. Okay, no, it is not here. So I'll have to see where exactly that particular paper is there, and I'll be sharing it maybe later on. So let me proceed further where I have left with the theory building. Sir, is it okay if I continue, or the participants need 5 minutes of break?
It is good that you should give 5 minutes break, madam.
Okay. Tejinder sir, is it okay?
Ma'am, we can have 5 minutes break.
This is Pooja ma'am.
No, ma'am, Tanya.
Tanya, okay, fine. So 5 minutes, right now it is 3:15. So 3:20 sharp, because I would be starting off with the other part for the discussion. Thank you.
Yeah, sure.
yes, we in India there are few teachers or mentors are there who run their own, I should say, YouTube playlist also are available. One is definitely needed, sir. So some of you who are new to this particular platform, you can visit his website on or the, I should say, YouTube channel, and register or subscribe yourself for his also. And I can just share it with you, his ID, so that you are able to know. Apart from him, even I, possess my own channel also side by side, and I'm going to give away both of them so that you can go ahead and I would say that you should definitely subscribe to these things also, so that you get maximum of help from his or my channels also side by side. That's number one before the others join up. So here I go, and I'm just sharing first of all Neeraj sir, who is my own teacher. This is the channel for Neeraj sir, so you can definitely go ahead and subscribe to his one also. And mine is also, I'm giving it to you, just a moment before others can join us. That's the reason why I'm just taking this one. Just give me a moment. Here we go. And this is mine. So, even I have a good number of videos, and going forward for, I think this particular lectures are also being part of the, I should say, sessions for this particular workshop are being recorded, and they would be shared on the Facebook as well as YouTube also. Plus, I would be sharing my own, whatever I'm discussing, and some part of it, because of the time limitation, I am skipping them. However, I will definitely go ahead and share those in the form of the videos, so that you are able to understand them more. Now, before I can start off with the again the continuation on theoretical or the conceptual models, I'm just giving to you today the historical background of art, and this PPT will be shared. So no need to get worried at all that yes, these are not being shared. So I'm just going to give you a short introduction about the background of history of art, and how. Now these are from my training, I would say the PPT. So I'll be sharing them with each one of you. So just have a look. This will not take more than 10 minutes, so that today you understand what is art, and what are different things that we have got in the history of art, as well as art programming, or what are the benefits and disadvantages. With respect to how to install it, and about our studios, how many forms of them are there, and which one is more suitable to you, I'll be discussing it in each and every session whenever I'm taking on different weekend. So today I'm just going to focus on these things as to the history of art, so that you are able to know that yes, what exactly art is all about and how to understand it. So here you can see that there is in the domain of computer sciences, since I'm also into the development of the software, so I can speak something on it side by side. You will see that there are various programming languages. Now, when I talk about the programming languages, it is at the back end when you are designing a software and you use that particular language, so that the output which takes place, you are comfortable in working on it. Now, there was a time, C, C++, and the other languages like Java, Java, .NET, they all turned out to be very popular ones. Now, side by side, there were other smaller, lesser known programming languages also, which are being used apart from the popular languages like Java or I would say C, C++, which are present for us. S was one of the language, and these languages, especially in America and Europe, I find that they are combining it so that, data sciences, especially as a branch of, this thing is able to take care of it, and then they are using it. Now, here you will see that, yes, S as a language here, which you can see out here, which has been written, was a small team was present, and they were trying to work upon it and understand somehow to introduce it to the data science world, or to say, let's say, help the companies for the data analysis, especially at the Bell Labs. Now, I hope you know that Bell Labs is the most popular one. Like, you have got the laboratories for Java, then you have got for Dell, Apple is one more area, Samsung is one more, and Bell is one, again, a popular company wherein they take care. And S was the language which they had introduced, and this was in the year of 1976. However, and this was particularly licensed by AT&T / Lucent to Insightful Corporation. Now, Silicon Valley has different companies, so these were the companies, and it was launched as S Plus later on. This is a short introduction. Later on, it was due to the contribution of Ross Ihika, I would say, and Robert Gentleman. These are the two individuals at U Auckland company. Again, I would say that the hubs wherein the softwares are being taken up very seriously, especially for the data analysis. Australia is one of the hubs. Then you have got USA, California, and Silicon Valley, Harvard, MIT. These are one more area. Then in Europe, Netherlands, Finland, these are the other countries, and Germany. Definitely, yes, they are also coming up with wonderful kind of a thing. So these people, they developed, and they said that rather than only company using it, they understood the importance of analysis, which is being taken up in almost all the educational colleges and universities. So they thought that why we cannot go ahead and make an open or a free source, which is can be used for the data analysis, and I should say for the research. And here they developed it because big data was coming in our country. Big data came in later on. However, in those countries, you will see that big data was something which was developing quite a lot, and the focus was given, I should say, towards the digital marketing that was taking place, and they were trying to introduce. This was the time when Ross and Robert, they took that initiative, and then they said that R is something that we are going to introduce into the market, and like a boom, I would say, they captured the data analysis market, so that the companies and the educational institutes, as well as the private companies, can work upon them and take care. And this was during the time of 90s that it was started. So you can see that something which started off in 1990s, and we are at 2020, and still we are struggling with this particular software to understand. And on a daily basis, let me tell you, I'll be sharing certain things along with this presentation of mine on R, and why I said that I love this particular group, and I keep working with them. And in fact, I need to share that it is my initiative that yes, I have taken up our ladies team in India, and I have launched that particular part wherein all the individuals who are there, they can join me up. You can focus on R, and from different regions, whosoever would like to take up the initiative, we can do it. Like Pooja ma'am, I have I should say given her the rights to come up with her own initiative for the Karnal region. Similarly, the other region like Tejinder sir for Kurukshetra. Now, similarly, I'm going ahead and through these these particular forum, we at least I have taken that lead that yes, wherever it is possible, we will give free trainings so that it can be utilized more and more. So that's why I said at the beginning, with help of Salman Khurshid ji, we were able to take care at the DPS World Schools across the country. In fact, Tirupati is one area wherein again they have focused more, and I'm approaching different universities and colleges so that they can propagate and they use more of R, and they are giving it free trainings for the students also. So later on, they thought that S is not going to be there because it has already been developed at Bell, and they thought if we give them away this thing, then we will have the problem with the copyrights. And once a language has been all of us should know that once a language has been launched, it cannot be used in a different manner, and therefore they came up with the idea that yes, instead of S, we will start off with R. And my name, it's a joke apart, has got both the initials Ramini as well as S as the Swarna also. And not only that, I should say I really like the team which is working with the R and the manner they are taking care. So R plays on name of S. So I have given you two reasons. One reason is that S was a language which was being developed at already established company like Bell Lab, and Ross and Robert cannot go ahead and use S and into the market as a free and open source. However, with R, they not only got the recognition in the market, they I should say were more popular than Bell Labs, and the way they are taking care, they have their own community, they have their own blogs, and it's a wonderful community where the teams are working on a daily basis. And if I'll show it to you, every day I get the messages via the mails through our bloggers across the country, and you will see my own this one which I told you, especially the YouTube playlist. You will see that yes, the way they have occupied with the sports analysis, health analysis, film studies, then audio analysis, film analysis, then they have got film into different varieties, they have got data analysis with the research area. Now there are so many geographical, now those individuals who are working on GIS, GPS, I mean on a daily basis, if you will see the school students coming up with small apps using R, you will be surprised. So once you will be learning, you can utilize it, but however that is on the programming side. With respect to the data analysis, R has bifurcated into programming as well as data analysis, especially this one. And number three, I would say that including the developing the packages, which can be utilized further for our own data analysis. So you will see that yes, they have divided themselves into various arena, and there is a huge group which is present. And in case you are also stuck up, you will be not believing me, I would say that the moment I go ahead and shoot out a mail, it does not take 1 second also for them to respond me back. It seems as though, they are glued on my screen, they have hacked my computer, and then they're taking care of it. However, that's the response rate, and I really like it. And there are few individuals who are of the similar kind for me. Now, since this was during the 1990s, later on from 1997, you can see that rather than just flourishing themselves in USA, they started off at the international level also. So there they have got international R core team, and let me tell you, they have got dedicated R trainers, dedicated R philanthropists who go and really help you out. And luckily, they have assigned me the South Asian country and countries, I would say, and I have become one of the training consultant for them for training on to different companies, especially in India as well as in other countries. Right now, I'm focusing on Russia and the other South Asian countries. So why I wanted to tell you is that international RCO team is a huge one with approximately 15,000 people and then thousands of code writers. On a daily basis, if you know a little bit of R programming, you can create your own code. In fact, I would love that Kurukshetra has such a lovely, in fact, KUK has such a lovely computer science department, and I know them very well, the way they are doing this work. And some of the students who are from commerce, finance, as well as the management department, you should be in contact with them and try to come up. Similarly, for the other universities, I know the Kurukshetra University, that's why I was speaking. Otherwise, you can be in contact with them, and certain things which are very easily solvable, or you can predict, or you can design it, and you can really come up with solutions for your own city. So, Amit sir, right now I'm just in the process of completing the slides. Otherwise, it's very difficult for me to complete the session. So, that's why I said either you start just giving your questions over there, so that Tanya or Pooja ma'am will be collecting, and trust me, these questions would be answered to you also side by side. So, you can carry forward. And Kurukshetra, because I'm associated with this particular city, I have, seen that yes, there are so many temples, and some of the temples really require the solution. And maybe later on I can give you the examples and how we have, me and some of my team members together, we are taking care of these solutions and providing it, okay, to that particular cities wherever I go. Now, similarly, we can carry forward also side by side. Now, apart from this thing, you can just give me a moment. This is stuck. Just a moment. I need to stop sharing and come back again. Just a moment, please. The reason is, I'm using that annotation. That's the reason why I don't like to use the annotations, because sometimes the entire thing gets stuck up. So now you can see it. Again, I wanted to go to the next page. Okay, here. Now, sometimes you should even see that, yes, it is giving us the open source. So, what do you mean by open source? Now, I'm sharing it directly from this thing, wherein you will be able to understand that, yes, you don't have to pay. Now, my mentor, Dr. Neeraj Kaushik sir, rightly in his second reason, he made it very clear that yes, I like our reason being it is absolutely free. We don't have to pay anything, or I don't have to purchase what I call it as my this one. What do you call the pirated software in the market, from the market? There is no need for me to do that. I am able to install the software on my desktop, or with the fun of these open sources like R and Python is that they are web browser softwares also. You don't have to worry, how to install, how to go ahead with the latest packages, how to do it. Everything is available on the web browser. You just have to do it. And next Sunday, I would be explaining to you these two things. Today, I just wanted to give you the background of R and then proceed further with this one as to what exactly it is and how to carry forward. Now, open source, no. So do I have to pay for it? No, I don't have to pay even a single naya paisa. Now you can get full access to their algorithms, to their packages, to their, depending upon your system, whether it is 64-bit or a 32-bit. Remember that if it is 32-bit, then, some of the packages which are on the higher or the advanced part of the R is not available with you. However, if it is on 64-bit, and that's why I was sharing with one of the participants that yes, it should be 64-bit so that you are able to enjoy the higher or the advanced form of R, and then the packages can be utilized. Especially, when I'll be introducing to you the visual and the graphical representations. R is marvelous, I should say. Now, it gives you the ability to fix. Now, you don't require any third IT person to come and, fix your bugs or the errors which you're taking care. You can do it all by yourself, and we have got the manuals for it, and you are able to understand them and you can take care of it. Similarly, it provides a forum allowing researchers to explore and expand the methods also side by side. For example, if you want to do a descriptive analysis, which is part of this workshop, you can see that there are individuals who have not just showcased some part of it. However, I would say they are developing new things every time, and then we are able to know them. So in that manner, it has got that cutting edge, or I can say competitive advantage as compared to the other softwares which are being used for the data analysis. Now, it ensures the scientists around the world, I would say, not just the engineering or technological scientists, however, even social scientists, you can incorporate, you name the domain and you have the answer. As I told you, sports analysis, which is absolutely new concept, health analysis, which is again a new one, they are doing a lot of research and then they are bringing in. Similarly, it promotes reproducible research by providing open and accessible tools. These tools are absolutely free, and they are not going to come up and tell you that, yes, see, this is not there for you. In fact, if you want to design a package, you can approach them and tell them that, yes, see, this is how I want and I would like to go ahead. Me and my team members, again, we are developing some of the packages based upon some of the books or the issues that we are seeing in India during the pandemic time, using R exclusively. Though I love even Python also side by side, R is the first one that I really like it more, and there are various ways in which I am using it also side by side. As I told you that, I love the manner the school children are taking care of certain things. Then I see college students preparing certain things at the university level. Forget about the research. Research has got a lot of scope with help of art directly. Now, what is it? Now, I know when registrations were taking place, there were, I don't know who are the individuals, I was surprised. They were throwing up the questions, what is the difference between R studios and R programming? Now, you need to have a little bit of patience, thinking that this is a workshop and you are invited into the workshop. So registration, you need to complete it. And once you are into the forum, you can proceed further with the question. So here is the first question, that what is R? Now, if I take it up, it is an interpreted computer language. Remember this. That's why it has been written over here clearly, and I'm showcasing it that, yes, it a computer language. And later on, you will see that it is also, I'll be explaining to you, just hold on, please. Most user visible functions are written in R itself. Now, next week, when I'll be showcasing to you how to install, how to download, and what are the various platforms you have got for R, you would be able to see these things also. Calling upon a smaller set of internal primitives. So you will be seeing them. We will have a look at it. It is possible to interface procedures, which we can, in the sense that if you know C, C++, or Fortran languages, or let's say now R has even come to that level that different softwares like, it can be possible that Jamovi, when you will see meta-analysis, how R package is being used. Similarly, PLSM, it has incorporated some of the R. So you are able to do those things even in R also. And we will see those things again as I keep moving on every Sunday when all of us are together. So, those developers who know these languages, C, C++, Java, you can definitely use and write a lot of packages all by yourself, and you can come up and you can help their community. Now, system commands can be called from within R. Now, these are the technical words that we have got out here. When I say system commands, I'm talking about certain things which are easily available for me in the R environment. I don't have to pull it up. For example, when you are working with Python, Now, you see, Python has got different environments. You can talk about Spider, you can talk about Jupyter, you can talk about the other things. However, here is one place that you don't have to go from one region to the other region. In that way, Python has the leverage of being a little bit complicated and in understanding, though it's also a nice area to work upon. Whereas in R, it is not like that. You just have to install the software and you are able to proceed further. Now, in the same manner, this gives you a lot of leverage with the data manipulation, statistics, graphics, which it is made for, and you are able to use it for your own research area also side by side. And try to remember, all participants, this is a small request. When you are talking about research, it is not just the academic research that you're taking care of. When I say academic, just to find out and let it be in the form of books or the papers. I told you at the beginning, research is something in which you are doing some kind of contribution to the society. Now, if you are able to come up with these kind of things, and slowly when I'll be showcasing to you certain things, you can see that yes, how networking analysis is being able to help you out, how heat maps are able. I don't know how many of you are there on Icon, Thomson Reuters. Now, there you will see the entire structure of heat maps, again, conjoined with R, and how well they are being used. Similarly, there are other databases also that are being captured through R, and you can really use them, and I can share those things also side by side. So, once we enter into the core part of how to do the analysis, you will be learning about these packages, and I have kept one session exactly on understanding those things also, so that you are not just working on the analysis part, you know about those packages and you are able to take care of it. Now, these are the advantages. You can see fast and free. It is the state of art in the sense that statistical researchers provide their methods as R packages, unlike SPSS and SAS. Now, SPSS, again, it's a standard one, a traditional one. We cannot say that it is not. However, it gives you the leverage to proceed further also side by side. Similarly, MATLAB for graphics. If you really want to proceed further with the graphics, you can do with this one. Similarly, if some like MX, WinBugs, and other programs, we are seeing that they are also using R for their own advantages. Now, it's a most active and I should say user-friendly community. There, you will not find these kind of things. Okay, I am so and so, I am this, I'm earning so much, I have got this thing. No, it's just a community of people. You go ahead, you tell them I have this problem, and immediately they are there. There are thousands of people who will immediately respond, and they will be helping you to clear with your own problems, errors, or whatever issues you find it. Now, it's an excellent for simulation programming, computer intensive analysis, etc. Now, there are quite a lot of advantages. Now, I'll showcase to you as I progress further. Now, it really allows you to think about your own analysis. There are various ways in which, for example, why is it that in your workshop, I'm just focusing only on descriptive statistics rather than any other program? Reason, I wanted to show it to you as to R as a platform, which gives you an environment in a variety of ways to work with the descriptive statistics itself, which we think that yes, descriptive is nothing but the percentage range. We will see. Definitely, yes, these concepts are there, these varieties are there. Apart from that, there are other things also which you can really work about in R. Interfaces with database storage software like SQL. Now, the second thing, once we start off, I'll be showcasing to you how well it is comfortable with Microsoft products like Excel. Then you have got PDF, then you have got CSV, then you have got SAV. How to introduce even DJVU databases also. Sometimes, I have this problem. let's say for SAS, if I go there, the data is stored in a very different format. Now, if I want to take care, then how am I able to do it? Now, for example, in Emerald, you have .ris. Now, it becomes very difficult for me if I really want to study. Why do you think that they're taking care? Because some of the analysis, if they want to show it in a practical aspect, you can save it in the form of RIS, and then you can really show it online, certain things. So these are certain advantages that we have got. Disadvantages, definitely yes. Though I'm not saying that it is disadvantage, however, that's fine for me. Here you will see that it's not a user friendly. Immediately you have to little bit dedicate some time, maybe a day or two. Third day you will be, in fact, I would say that the GUI which is present as a web browser one, we will see that is more important. No commercial support. No, it does not have. Figuring out correct methods or how to use a function on your own. No, it's not necessary. Sometimes, as I told you, here you have the community and they might be able to help you out. Easy to make mistakes. Of course, yes. There are the reason behind it that also I'm telling you, because the moment you make a mistake, and every day the packages are being given to us, new packages, so it becomes a little bit difficult for me to me in the sense for us to go ahead and tackle. However, the community is present to us, and they are ready to give you the explanation, and they are coming up with new lines of I should say, wherein you are able to go ahead and perform the analysis. Working with large data sets is limited by RAM. As I told you, if it is 64-bit computer, then a lot of things, especially if you're working on big data. Now you will see that when I'll be showcasing both, wherein you are working on big data, and we will understand what big data means for us, and how the environment is changing on a daily basis with respect to big data for our, and non-big data is also there, and how to go about it. Now I'm talking about, when I say non-big data, I'm talking about the smaller varieties of it. So how do you take care of it? Now sometimes it really becomes very difficult that on 32-bit you cannot work, especially with the techniques of the qualitative analysis like textual analysis and sound analysis or film analysis, which I have to do. I need to have 64-bit or maybe higher end of it. We can go ahead. Now similarly, we have got the data preparation, and cleaning can be messier. Now, yes, it takes little bit of time. However, with little bit of exposure to R, you are able to go ahead and tackle this one. Now, in SPSS, definitely, yes, data cleaning becomes very easy for us. And thanks to Needed Sir and others who have showcased to us as to how to proceed further and tackle the data cleaning, okay, that particular step. Now, similarly, some users complain about the hostility on the R list, sir. It's nothing of that sort. This was initial stages, however, not at the moment. At the moment, I think R has given you a leverage and allows you to proceed further and take care of it. Now, these things this is something that I really wanted to showcase again, which I keep using when I'm giving the training sessions. Now, R and the commercial packages. Now, many different data sets, as I was mentioning to you, you can work with CSV, you can work with Excel, you can work with SAV, you can work with the other one. Whereas in commercial packages, one data set's available at a given time. So, whatever the data sets are there, you can work only. For example, we all know SPSS, then how it is working. Okay, now similarly, Amos. Now, when you are working, IBM Amos, I'm talking about, it works only on SAV. So, I'm facing that problem right now. Now, sometimes I hate it, in the sense when my hands are handicapped in that manner. Data sets can be of any dimension in R. So even if it is in a CSV present in Notepad, you don't have to worry. Now, initial days when I was getting trained, I had this problem. How am I supposed to go ahead and separate the variables which are present in the Notepad, which is in the form of text, and then how am I supposed to carry forward? However, when R was given to me and I was told that go ahead and just upload it, and then I was able to take care. Whereas in commercial, data sets are rectangular. Functions can be modified. However, in commercial packages, we all know that they are proprietary and immediately I cannot take care of it. Experience is interactive. As I told you, I love graphical and visual representations in R, Python, Orange. And when I'm working, R definitely yes, because I work a lot on big data. And when I'm working, those heat maps, DovNets, and those kind of things which are there. And surprisingly, even Excel is becoming friendly now. If you go to the higher ends of Excel,
Hello, Ramni ma'am. Hello. There might be again a network issue. Feedback form link is provided in the chat box. So all the participants are requested to fill it.
are also given to us. And I think I'm going to end the workshop right now. Reason we are all present from 10 o'clock, and this must have been a heavy dose on the first day itself with, I would say, with observations, and some of it had been absolutely new for majority of you. So I will be continuing with this particular topic. Don't think that this is going to be skipped. I would be continuing with this one next Sunday also side by side, so that the topic is covered, and then I would proceed further with the news session that is given to you, all of you. Number one. Number two, I'm just checking out with the questions that were present. I think you can give another column. Yes, Ravinder sir, it would be there would be a different column altogether for Python also. So I thought I just wanted to today go ahead and give you all a brief introduction about R, thinking that why we should take care of it. And yes, reading material, this is ma'am, I'll be sending it to Tanya and Pooja ma'am. They would be either sharing it on Telegram group or via the mail. So I don't know how they are planning. And other person said Python. Yes, I would be doing that also, sir. And there were other questions which I was seeing. Pooja ma'am, maybe you can just copy paste the further questions for me, so that I can see what were the questions that were available at that time. You can just copy paste here some of the questions, and after answering them, maybe we can wind up with this particular session today. So there were certain other questions, I think, in between. I could see they were asking me because I could not go because of I have to log in and log off. I'm not getting the other question. So if you can just, one of you can take that lead out here and copy paste those questions so that I'm able to, or the other individuals who are asking me, you can paste it here again, copy paste it again. Yes, the PPTs as I'm completing the topics will be shared with all of you side by side. Yes, the questions. Those individuals who are asking me, you can paste your questions again, please.
I think
Oh, some of
Tanya
them
has
have
compiled
logged
the
off, I
questions,
think so.
I think Tanya has compiled the questions. She can ask them from you. Hello, Tanya.
During the session, there were 2 or 3 questions that ma'am have already answered.
No, Tanya, before this one also there were few other questions. I could not save, otherwise, one more responsibility I'm giving you is that these chat, the entire chat session, you should save it in case they are asking the questions or some other valuable thing, then maybe we can see them also side by side.
Ma'am, there's a question from Pooja Dan. Does R has all functions which are in SPSS and PLSM?
Does R has all functions which are in does R have
SPS.
all functions? Not necessarily. We will. I'll be showcasing to you as to what all things R has got in terms of the functions. Some of them, yes. However, some of that was the reason why I said as Bob the PowerPoint which I was showcasing to you between SPSS, SAS as well as R. So you are able to check it out with PLS SEM. I was not giving to you. However, through Amos, I have taken care of it. Even in PLS, also we will see, and I'll be explaining to you via the packages. Those things are available, ma'am. Some of them are there, but not all of them. Now, as there is no hard and fast rule for research that if we use this spice, the result would be like this cooking. So I may become confused when someone comes from a different school of thought and satisfy them with my own. Now, I'm not able to understand your question, Mariam Akhtar. What exactly you would like to say? Can you please elaborate, and maybe I can go ahead and give you the answer for that. Difference between R and Python. So more than the differences, I should say one difference I can tell you is that whenever you go ahead with the exploratory analysis, especially in Python, it talks about a factor analysis, principal axis analysis. So those kind of things are included under the exploratory analysis itself, whereas in R, I see that we need to do it separately. In Python, it is not. Similarly, for the visual graphical representations, as I'm continuing with it continuously with just one line of code, I'm able to understand and everything is covered, especially in Python. Whereas in R, we need to again go ahead and see what exactly I want and according to it. So those are the major differences in R and Python. Though I would say that I'm very fond of Python reason the way they deal with the visualization and the graphical representations. They are detailed depending upon the kind of environment, especially if you're working on Jupyter, they have a different set. If you're working on Spider, it's a different thing. So the environments really matter in Python, and for separate environment, there are separate codings, and it becomes very elaborative. Whereas in R, I don't see these different kind of environments. It's just one environment of R, wherein just with one line of code, you are able to retrieve it. And you will see that with the help of the descriptive analysis, and that's why I did not go ahead. Otherwise, I thought I can include descriptive, univariate, bivariate, as sir does it, Neeraj sir. So I thought, no, that would be too much. Let me just focus on descriptive itself, and then we can carry forward. So that goes with this one. Once again, please, then which school of thought one should follow? Which school of thought one should follow means, are you talking about philosophical assumptions, Mariam? Okay. Yes, Mariam. You see, I did not focus more as to how to select your own school of thought. Again, this takes a little bit of time. Given the limitation with respect to the time, I did not enter into that discussion. Otherwise, there is a process immediately after the observations, before you can even pick up with the theoretical model or the conceptual model, the philosophical assumption, the realm of that completely lets you understand about it. So that I was not able to take care of it today. However, once I reach to the qualitative research, because on that day I have, that is on third or fourth Sunday is the one you need to wait, and then I would be able to answer this particular query, or you will get the answer yourself. No doubt session is very informative. I have only one question. Is it for the beginners, as I'm really working with earlier working? Yes, ma'am. This particular workshop, this is for Dr. Anju Bala, ma'am. This one I'm just focusing exclusively for the beginners, and that's the reason Tejinder sir had this vision already, and his aim is that R should be taught right from the scratch. And that's the reason why I took that initiative. And today I just gave the brief introduction to R, number one. Number two, the historical with the advantages, disadvantages, what are the benefits, and little bit of the comparative work that we could have taken care of it. So this is it. So yes, you are most welcome. And once you will see how R is more advantageous, I think you will quit working with SPSS also. The philosophical undermining is evident from which part of the literature? Now, Mariam, your question is the philosophical undermining is evident from which part of the literature? Now, you see, if I'm talking about the literature, that's the reason. See, with the help of the literature, if you are taking care, most of the papers which are written or coming from the management domain, like that is what I wanted to check out, and somehow I missed with that paper. However, in the next week when I'll be sharing it, I'll be able to show it to you that yes, management domain focuses on logical positivism, and what are the reasons behind it, we will have to understand it. So most of the students and the faculties who come from the management, they think that okay, logical positivism is there because it helps me to generalize it, and we will see what are the reasons, and if you are happy with it, please proceed further with the logical positivism. Otherwise, we have other schools also which are available, and we will see how to use them for our own thesis, number one, and how to carry forward with the literature also. Can one, and this is for Sarah, can one use R and Python simultaneously for a research paper? See, Sarah, it depends upon the, again, you can, though I have seen in some of the papers that you have to mention it very clearly. Now, this is what I wanted to share, that the authors have mentioned it very clearly that yes, through Python, they would be, taking care of the exploratory factor analysis, or they don't even call it as the exploratory factor analysis, they will just call it as the exploratory analysis. However, in R, you can go forward, let's say for descriptive analysis, there is no need for you to use Python. You can do it directly. However, if you want a comparative kind of a heat map, and that does not require the coding much, because Python requires a lot of coding. And if you are comfortable with those codes, and the list of those codes are available, because Python, on a daily basis, developers are improving it day by day, and a lot of things takes place. So by the time you reach and you want to utilize Python, it may not be comfortable in that particular environment. Like for example, Jupyter. Now, Jupyter, the desktop version as well as the web browser version, which we will see later on maybe, or you are already given this one, which we call it as Collab. You will see that Collab functions in some form with the Jupyter. However, if the function is present only for the Spider, then it becomes very difficult for us. So therefore, Python, while you are using for the research, you have to understand that yes, which part of Python I'm taking care of it. Whereas in R, the flow of the entire analysis, which you can see comfortably, you can carry forward because it gives you the leverage to capture those visualizations and graphical representations also side by side. Then that goes for Sarah. Now Shashi Kumar has asked me the question, how are work practical application with different examples prove more fruitful? Sir, wherever you are working on inferential, especially with the predictive analysis, and I would say the prescription ones. So these are the two areas where R is more popular, especially when it comes for the decision making. As I told you, the popularity with R is that it works more on the big data analysis. And when you are working with the big data analysis, it means that there must be something which you really are looking forward. So more than descriptive, I would say it is a predictive and the prescriptive research that is more popular in R. So that goes for Shashi Kumar, sir. Now, what is the difference between review of literature or literature review? Ma'am, Mariam, this we would be checking out next week. Because next week the entire Sunday is just dedicated to reviews only, and I hope Pooja ma'am and Tanya would be sharing with you the details about the next Sunday's entire agenda, and I'm sure all of you would be enjoying that. And be ready again, because that's again more of theoretical. However, I'll show it to you how it becomes much more easier, especially when it comes for the publications, both for the scholars as well as the faculty. So you need to wait till next Sunday for this particular topic. Then share the Telegram link. Organizers can take care of it. What is the difference between, I told you, Khushbu ma'am, we will do it next week. You will have to wait. Would you describe quantitative research from a perspective using art? Ma'am, would you describe quantitative research from the perspective of our language? Of course, yes, ma'am. It makes your work much more easier, and you can see the uploading of the files. Now you see, this is the major thing. Now in SPSS, what happens is that Excel data you cannot. Then you cannot go ahead with CSV. Then I told you that Notepad, different file formats are there, which is more comfortable in uploading in our environment. And then later on, the analysis, which I can see, turns out to be very, very easy. Especially, it does not allow you, sometimes, let's say, if you are working with SPSS, then, you should know that I'm going to analysis, then, this particular tab, and I myself sometimes, because one tab is the data analysis tab, and the other one is the analysis, especially with the regression. Whereas in R, I don't see this kind of a problem at all. That yes, I have to see this particular tab or that particular kind of a tab. It just a flow is there. Number one. Number two, you can just with one button click it, and there are no multiple. I would say the screens that you get in SPSS, where your output comes in a different screen, and if you are not able to save it, it goes away. However, in R, with just one click and one coding, you are able to introduce the coding for saving the entire, I should say, working that you are taking care in the R environment. That is number one. Number two, even for the output, just it's not very complicated. You don't have to go for searching for the tabs and everything. The moment you get the output, you are able to understand the interpretation. Number one. Number two, because of the leverage that yes, the packages that you are using, you have the manuals, and the entire interpretation has been written as to how you are going to interpret it and how to take care of it also side by side. So in that manner, I find that quantitative research is better, number one, and I repeating it again. Predictive analysis, especially, system gets hanged up if you are using what I call it as in SPSS. In in SAS and STAT also I have seen the system gets hanged up with the big data that we have got. However, even uploading of files also, predictions are far better because of the visualizations and the interpretations, whereas in other softwares, you will see that if it is, let's say, around 1 lakh of data, if you have got with you, the entire digital story in terms of the graphical representation that I have got becomes very difficult. Here, the correlation, I don't have to work. Here, you get that graph and immediately, you can make the predictions as well as the prescriptions for your, and you can prepare a beautiful, I would say, your own presentation for the output. Now, can we find reliability of test items and correlation? Reliability of test items and correlation with our language. Mariam, let's wait. I will be reaching to that level and I'll be showcasing to you. You can yourself have a look at it and check it out all by yourself. Let's give some time for getting that hands-on experiences. In axiological assumption, in quantitative, it is unbiased and value-free, and qualitative, it is biased. Want examples? Yes, ma'am. We would be doing it under the topic of systematic reviews and meta-analysis, because when I'm talking about the meta-analysis, I would be speaking a lot, and that is the reason why I have included in the workshop. Reason you would be able to connect between what exactly is the relationship between the variables at the level of meta-analysis and meta-synthesis. When I'm talking about before doing the ROL, you are able to get a lot of information. However, the moment I am going into the quantitative or the qualitative analysis, what kind of things are coming in, and you will see the differences between both of them, and there would be some examples given to you, so that would be taken care of. I think this is for Sumit Saini sir. And the other person who has asked me is, can we use, of course, yes, logit model. I think Neeraj sir has a wonderful video on that as to how to proceed further, and he has developed a lot of things, though this is not the agenda of my workshop this time. However, Tejinder sir has to take the call in future how to go ahead. I'm just focusing only on descriptive analysis, so that the basics of R, how to upload, how to clean, how to save, how to write, and how to install the packages, all those things are being taken care of in this particular workshop. However, once we go into the advanced form of lessons or the model testing in R, definitely yes, these things would be coming in. Can we get video recording of this session, ma'am? This Pooja ma'am, Tejinder sir, or Tanya would be able to understand whether or how they are going to share the video recordings, or whether the video recordings have been taken place. I'm not involved into it. Can we do same in R? Of course, yes, we can do, and there are beautiful packages which are there. Again, Ravinder sir, and we can take care of this one. Now, the next one is, ma'am, is it easy to learn R? Of course, yes, ma'am. If that is how R, this is for Sarah, definitely yes. As a R beginner, today I have given you the introduction to R as to what is the historical part of it. Next Sunday, you will see little bit more. So you will see that in these 7 Sundays, how much you have learned about R, and with little bit of homework from your side. Like for example, today I have given you the historical and disadvantages and how R is different in some ways. You are able to know about R. Next week, some more, like for example, what are the various ways in, what are the various platforms or the environment which is available? Do I have to install and work on R on the desktop itself, or without installation, can I work on the web browsers or not? Those things are also available to us, ma'am, and you will be learning all these things, including what are the differences between the 64-bit and 32-bit. And I see a lot of scholars asking this question. We will be able to see these things also. Now, Mariam is asking you, can you tell for
just last, we'll take only one last question because it's been very long, and
Sure,
people
sir.
are leaving in between. So we'll just take one last question. Rest
Yes.
of them we can answer by email in case they are right. I
Yes,
think so
sir.
that would be a
Then
better idea.
email it. Let me go ahead and share it out here itself. And if more questions are there, you can ask me over the email, and I would be more than happy to make you understand it. Now, one question. There is one question only, sir. Can you tell for science education and particularly subjects like biology, physics, chemistry, application of art? Of course, yes, which I'll be taking care of it the moment I complete what are, because one entire hour has been dedicated to the packages, because I know there are different participants coming from different background. So I would be sharing that information, ma'am. So kindly wait for one more week, I should say. And here again, I want to have your email address. I have already shared it. Kindly share schedule of workshop with topics to be discussed with a prerequisite from our side. Prerequisite is attendance. The proposals that you have shared with us, whatever you have learned today, like for example, observations and the study material which is going to be shared, start applying them. Whatever is left on the conceptual modeling would be taken care next week, and we would be understanding it more side by side, sir. So that is what we are looking for in the workshop. If there is something that I have missed it, Tejinder sir would be able to apprise all of us side by side. Thank you, sir.
Thank you so much, ma'am, for such an
Madam,
enlightening
absolutely.
session. Before the vote of thanks, I would like to make. Hello.
Yes. Tanya, you want me to speak?
Sir, before that, can I make one announcement about regarding the quiz or the test?
Yes, please make announcements.
There will be a test after every session. Like we have the workshop on 7 days. So after every day, every session ends, we have a test, and the link for the test will be shared in the Telegram group. And for today's test, it will be shared in the Telegram today by the evening, and the link will be open till Wednesday 5 p.m.
Tanya, since I was not able to complete another topic, which is on conceptual modeling, development, and this thing, I think we cannot share the quiz today. What I can do it is I'll be sending you another quiz, maybe of 15 questions for whatever thing has been taken care of today, and maybe within 1 hour you can share it in the Telegram link also.
Okay,
side
ma'am.
by side.
Okay.
Thank you.
We'll
Tanya.
share the link for the test in the Telegram group, and please fill the feedback form, as it will mark your attendance for the session. And now I would like to request Tajendra sir to share their views and to give the vote of thanks.
I think let us have a view from one participant. Who would be willing? Laurel, would you like to say something within 1 minute? Hello, Laurel.
This is the test for them, whether they are present or not.
No, she's there. She's there.
So she is present, but I don't know. I can't see her muted. I don't know. Could be the network problem. So anyone who is volunteered, like who wants to.
Okay,
Can I
I'll
say
say thanks, because it's been a very long session. And Madam, hats off to your energy. I was really so impressed, so amazed. I mean, how much of the energy you have, speaking so much with so much of knowledge, how much of work you have done. That's really mind-boggling, and extremely thankful to you for your inputs which you have given. I'm sure this will enrich the people, and they will be motivated.
Thank you, sir. Thanks a lot, sir.
At 10:30 a.m. next Sunday. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, madam. Thank you.